gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the GFreak Speaks podcast, episode 29. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the 30 bomb. Who's on next week? I don't know, but stay tuned. But I wanted to let you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by absolutely fucking nobody right now. So if you guys want to sponsor the podcast, hit me up, slide in the DMs at GFreak, and we can negotiate something, as well as the fact that this podcast is also on YouTube for the visuals. If we want to see our guest, Taylor Morgan, joining us, as well as myself, if you guys don't know what I look like. But it's available on Spotify, Apple iTunes, and everywhere else. But Taylor, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Big fan.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, no, I am very, very well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's a nice Sunday as we look outside. It's like a really clear blue sky. So it's a bit frosty, but it's a good day. That's a good day.
It's raining where I am.
Really?
Yucky, gross. It's like the type of weather that you don't get out of bed for.
It's very monsoonal up in Sydney, isn't it?
Yeah, recently, and it's not supposed to stop either. So got that to
Really?
look forward to. Yeah.
When I went to Sydney, I went there for like work, and I noticed that when I was working, I was working to a little bit like we're doing bigger days, because whenever I work domestically, we just want to smash it and get back home to Victoria. And we worked till like 6 o'clock every night, and all the bugs started coming out. And dude, all the bugs are like fucking on steroids up there. It's tropical, man. Like the cockroaches are huge, the ants are bigger, the fucking flies are just like, man. What the hell, man?
You wouldn't think either, like Sydney of all places, but there's something in the water or similar. Like, I'm not sure if you have down there, but slugs as well. We get way too many slugs. I think
Really?
It's the rain. Yeah, like they'll be on my car, they're in my driveway. It's like they're everywhere.
On your car?
Yeah, I had a slug on my car the other day. I was out with my friends and I came back and there was a little.
Where on your car was it?
On like the boot, like the boot kind of / windscreen, like had come down, and I'm like, don't know how you got up here, buddy, but welcome aboard.
How does it get like to get onto a car?
Yeah.
Like if you went under a tree and it fell on there, how does it? No. It has to climb up the wheel, on the rim, through the axle, on the body, back around the body. That's a hike.
Man's went exploring.
That's a hike. I actually, speaking of bugs on the car, I had a mosquito on the front windscreen of my car, and I could see it. And I was pointing at my fiance, and I'm like, "Hey, look at this!" and I'm just starting to drive off, and we hit 20. We're like 20, 30, 40, and it's like swinging around. It's like getting a bit shaky. 50. 50, it's fucking shaking. The wings are like flapping the other direction. I don't know if that hurts or not, like doing a dislocated finger or what. 60, bang. I don't know where it went, but it was gone.
Gone. He was there for the ride. His very last ride, probably, maybe.
Actually, speaking of the bugs on the windscreen as well, I have seen a TikTok where it was like this huntsman. It was like on the car's windscreen for an hour trip or whatever. And they were driving down the freeway. They were going, I don't know wherever they were going, but the huntsman ended up like hanging on there the whole trip, and then it fell off at the very end. It's like, dead. It was just so exhausted and whatnot. But speaking of TikTok, man, where did it all begin for you? How did you get into gaming before we get into the TikTok stuff? And where was the first influence and first touchings of gamings for you?
That would be my father, my dad. Since like, I want to say like 8 or 9, I think. It was just very recreational. It was like any other video game. Like it would be like Crash Bandicoot and Modern Warfare 2. Dad would like set up like Modern Warfare 2 high rise, and we would just like 1v1 each other. And obviously because I'm 8, like I have the motor skills of like a potato. So Dad would very often like take it easy on us and kind of back and forth. My brother kind of wasn't interested that much and kind of fell off, but Dad, like he recounts the story all the time, particularly now. And he'll say that like through the years, he would go, hang on, wait, she's actually getting kind of good, like probably around the age like 10, 11 mark. And then he was like, oh crap, I gotta start trying. And then it got to a point where I was better than him. And by that point, I think Black Ops 2 was the main game. And I was like, I want to keep doing this. And just gaming was just something I did in the same way that like, I don't know, like you play sport or something like that. It was just a hobby and stuff like that. It just continued throughout high school and uni and stuff like that. And never thought I'd be here, but that's kind of just how I got into gaming in general. It was never weird to be a girl. It was just what it was.
How good was MW2?
Oh, dude, so good, man. I need terminal back, bro. That's I don't know. I don't know how you feel, actually. It'd be interesting if they were to do like a remaster. How would you feel? Are you on the side of like, don't touch it, leave a good thing where it's at, or would you want to see it again?
Well, Modern Warfare Remastered, they did that so well. And the best part about it is they kept it the exact same, I played the absolute shit out of that game. That's when I first started getting into like a lot of professional competitive Call of Duty with 5v5 Search and Destroy. And they left the game exactly the same. All they did was add some cosmetic things like the character skins and like your knife would be a broken bottle or like a sword or like a katana or like a banjo. Like that was really cool. And all these cosmetic skins for the guns as well, like apart from just gold, that, that iconic gold AK-47, they also had like these other cool like cosmic camos and stuff. And there was nothing better than on a Sunday for me. Like I had all day, jump on at about 12 o'clock after my meal prep, pop a Red Bull, and then play some competitive money 8s against all the boys and stuff. Probably get sketched. Sketch means people don't pay for people listening right now. But there was nothing cooler. So if they did that with Modern Warfare 2, then that would be amazing. But I don't think they will because of what's coming out next year. Which is really cool. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2023.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that?
I'm so excited, dude. Honestly, because as far as I know, it's not a remaster, but it's just like a sequel to the Modern Warfare 2019. I think that's what I've heard.
It is a remake. So it's like it's a different timeline. So picture like the Marvel universe. So there's different timelines, gotcha. That's what they've done with it. So it's the exact same characters, but just a different storyline.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, regardless, I'm so keen for it. Like, I'm very keen to see what they do.
Have you seen the footage? Some of the footage?
No, I haven't. I've been such a bad content creator and not seeing it. Yeah. That's on my to-do list, is to do my research on it, because
I've been peeping.
Like this.
I've been peeping so hard, and oh my God. Like I saw this AK-47 gameplay, and the gameplay, have you ever seen Tarkov?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the game looks like that. It's like super real. I don't know how I feel about that, because COD's an arcade shooter. Like, what were your thoughts about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019?
I really liked it. I think it came at a point where, like, you look at the ones previous, because I think the one before it was World War II, and you had like a series of like advanced Black Ops 4, then Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, there was a series of games that kind of had some very mixed opinions. Don't get me wrong, there was still like a massive fan club of people that did like those games, but it was a very controversial time. I think Modern Warfare 2019, particularly coming into COVID, it was like the first game where everybody kind of came back to COD and was like, all right, overall, pretty positive response. Even now, with the game being like 3 years old or something like that, plus Cold War and Vanguard being after it, it's still one of the higher played Call of Duties, which for it to be 3 years old and still doing that, we haven't seen a game like that in quite a while.
Yeah.
It's my preferred game anyway. Like, Modern Warfare is what I play on stream, making content, yada yada. Like, I don't dislike Cold War or Vanguard, but I feel very homely in Modern Warfare. So overall, very positive for me.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I feel, looking back at it, I wasn't a fan of the no mini map. I wasn't a fan of the red dots at the top of the map. I wasn't a fan of the super tactical sprint and the doors and shit. Like, it did take away from it. It was a very good first person, but it wasn't a good Call of Duty. Like, the way I see Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 was it was a beta for Warzone. And now that we know Warzone, we find that it's very homey on Modern Warfare, which we would never revisit anyway. Not too many of us are going back and playing that shit, saying that, we miss it. We would probably rather play Warzone. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this integration. It's just the same engine, so I'm pretty pumped. I'm pumped in the way that I didn't mind the engine for Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And I also didn't mind the end. I don't mind the fact that Optic, the boys on the Optic team, they won a couple of world championships on the Modern Warfare. So the boys, and they loved it. Illy and Shotzi out there. So
yeah,
I'm keen to see how it goes. I'm very excited as always. And the past two Call of Duties, I never finished the campaign. Vanguard
Yeah,
and Cold
really?
War. Did you ever? Are
Yeah.
you a campaign girl?
No, I'm so
No?
far from it. I haven't played a campaign in a very, very long time. That's like my one downfall
Okay.
of being a COD player. It's
Okay.
all multiplayer for me. But
Shit.
I'm interested in like the storyline and what it means to the games and stuff like that. But I more get like I don't want to say third party opinions, but typically I hear other people's responses about it because I'm just not interested in campaign. It's just not
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it'd be interesting to play. I probably will end up playing the campaign for Modern Warfare 2 at least, just to see where it's at and what's going on. So.
Have you ever played Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare campaign? 2009.
No, I did not.
That was the best Call of Duty campaign ever.
Yeah, you reckon?
Oh, it was so good. Have you ever heard of the mission called All Gillied Out?
Yes.
Yeah, that mission was the most iconic mission in like probably video game history as well. You know, you know the saying like there used to be 20,000 people here, now it's a ghost town.
Yeah, it's a ghost town.
Yeah, that one. That's where that's from.
Yeah, gotcha.
So all those iconic things, and that they were like in Modern Warfare 2009. 2007. They were exploring Chernobyl and that area, and you know that you had to stay out of the radiation, the ghillie suits, and it was all those old abandoned swimming pools and the big Ferris wheels and all that type of stuff, and the hospitals. That was the coolest thing ever. But what are you looking forward to most with Modern Warfare next year? Oh, well, this year actually. This year, November.
Yeah. I would love to see. I don't know. I would love to see some map diversity. To be honest, it's a little bit. It's such a hard thing to play with, particularly with it being like in the Modern Warfare series. But like, I feel like recently there's a bit like if you look at Modern Warfare type of games, they're those very like old school kind of war style maps, whereas games like Cold War and stuff like that, you know, you look at like the nuke towns and all them, they're very modernized, like Rush and all them, very modernized. I don't know whether I'm playing with fire here or would receive some controversy, but I would like to see a little bit more like creativity from some of the map designs. I think you can still stick to that theme of those like war themes, but like let's get some like a little bit of color in there or similar. Not going full Fortnite or anything like that, but it'd be cool to just see something a little bit different without staying the theme. I know it's probably controversial. People tell me to shut up, but that's probably what I'd like to see. So I guess time will tell.
Hey, I agree, dude. I agree.
Yeah.
Like I'm always saying color. And I think that let's go back to the skeleton of things with Call of Duty when it comes to Call of Duty. It has to have a mini map, one that works. If you shoot without an unsuppressed gun, it should fucking appear for 5 seconds.
On the map. Absolutely, man.
If you shoot with a gun that's suppressed, you should only hear that, not see on the map.
Yeah.
It shouldn't appear on the compass at the top of a map. The second thing,
absolutely,
the map should be 3 lanes only. No more, no less. Okay?
Yes.
It doesn't need to be this fucking 3x3 grid, which is 9 lanes. Okay? Dumbest shit ever. There doesn't need to be doors. Get rid of doors. They don't need to be in there. Remove indestructible walls. That's the dumbest shit ever. We're not playing Battlefield. Okay?
Yeah.
We're not playing that shit. Tactical sprint, get rid of that too. Okay?
Yeah.
Bring it back to the roots. Back to its roots on the boots on the ground. And that's, I think, and a bit of color as well. Obviously, these older genre games, which is before the 2000s, they're more like the guerrilla warfare, which are the past two, Vanguard and Cold War and stuff. They're dark games. That's totally fair enough. But they need to add those. They need to add that point of color and point of interest for everyone to jump on board and enjoy a bit more instead of those dull, washed out colors, which they used to work back in 2007 to 2012, but not anymore. People are so colorful. Like, look at your chair, man. If you guys are watching the podcast right now on YouTube or listening, go to YouTube. Fuck me. This is the greenest chair I've ever seen.
Very much so, yeah. The old sponsors and whatnot. But absolutely. I think we're in an age where you look at like some of the top shooter games right now, Overwatch, Fortnite, Valorant. Like, yes, they're completely different games and they're not based on like the wars, et cetera, et cetera. But they're bright and they're colorful and they're into Apex Legend as well. Like, you know, I think in comparison to some of the games that Call of Duty is competing with, it's really hard to kind of match them, I guess, because it's like, I mean, you look at kids as well who are massive consumers of the games and stuff like that. They feed off the attention. Like they
love it.
The bright colors, the quick stuff or whatever. So I think if COD wants to kind of stay in it, keep the roots for the older guys, like you and I that played the older stuff. But, if we can modernize it a bit, that would not go astray.
Absolutely. I agree. But I'm very excited for this COD, and that's the next big thing about it. Like, a new COD comes out, it's all about the grind. It's all about taking that day off from work on the Friday so you can play on the Saturday,
Yes.
or Friday all day.
Release day. Absolutely.
The weird
100%.
part about it is that, like, I think it was this year. Yeah, or the year before. Like, it released on a Saturday at 4 a.m. for us. It used to be Australia first, but then they did everyone at the same time. And I was so annoyed, bro. Like, I was like, come on, man. Like, that's bullshit, bro. Because we used to play with all the pros that would get access when Australians get access. But then, it's just so frustrating. But it's all about that grind and to stand out, like, when you're popping off. Like, it's so hard to just want to go hard and all that. It really is. Like, this year, if I can, I'll definitely be staying home. I know that you can definitely do that because I guess you're a subcontractor in the streaming world, which is great. But I really hope they do that. Like, it's so frustrating that they didn't. But let's
I have a feeling they won't. You're appealing to the factors, and that's one of the downsides of being in Oceania in general is just like you look at the main consumers of Call of Duty and it's all Western. Like, I can see exactly what they're doing. They're appealing to the main audience because people in the UK, people in the US, they're all having a whinge that we get it first, despite it not really being a big deal, like that we're a smallest population and that sort of thing. So I could just feel it falling on deaf ears, and they don't care. It's like, shush you. Like,
I miss the midnight. I miss that midnight, waiting up till midnight. You ready? You ready? The countdown and all that type of stuff.
100%,
like,
absolutely.
That was the sickest shit ever. Oh my god.
100%. Get all you boys, get the rally, the teams going. That was the best.
Absolutely. How long have you been streaming for?
I've only been streaming for about a year.
Okay, so have you had a Call of Duty? A new Call of Duty, like, release midnight? You done that type of stuff?
No. The only one I did, actually, so I say I've been streaming for a year. I, back in September of 2021, I tried streaming for like a month. I think I did like 2 streams and I was like, ew, gross. And I didn't like it. So actually when Modern Warfare, I take that back. Cold War Zombies, I think it was. I did a midnight stream release, or like I did a stream. I think it was technically a little bit embargo, like I wasn't supposed to, but for Die Machina, the Cold War Zombies, I did that upon release, and kind of like did that, but it was a bit of a flop anyway. I was like, oh, okay, well, I played it for about an hour and I was like, okay, this kind of sucks, and then I
didn't like it.
I got off. Yeah, literally. So, but other than that, no, I haven't been in like the same realm as you and the others, like getting amongst it and getting hype. So
yeah, that's fair. I actually don't think I've done a midnight launch, because I remember one time I went to, and it wasn't even out until like 4 a.m. the next day. So I did like a 4 a.m. launch, but even then, like, the audience, it kind of isn't there because it's all overseas and shit. That was the advantage. Like, over here, I remember when I was new, like very green, the first couple of years of my streaming, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't stream the game before it was supposed to, because I wasn't sure. Like, it was like, well, it's available to play. Can I stream it?
Yeah.
And then there's all these kids getting, like 1,000 viewers and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I want to cash in on this, but I was too freaked out about a ban, because you know how Twitch is. Twitch is like fucking
100%. They don't care. They won't warn you. They'll just be like, you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. You mean nothing to them. So it was one of those like, oh, but this year I'm definitely going to do it. I don't know. It just depends when it is, what time it is and stuff and whatnot. And like, it's good that it's on a weekend. But it's just tough, because then you're like, well, fuck, it's my weekend. I want to catch up with my friends and family. But then you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'll no life it. Oh, no life it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one day you block it off like 6 months in advance. You say, I'm sorry, friends and family, my partner. No, you gotta everyone get out of here.
We're done with that. We're done with that.
Yeah.
Hey, but let's jump into how did you get started in TikTok? So TikTok was released in like 2019 late, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so where did you see on TikTok the appeal for yourself to start creating content?
So I started out like around that time, to late 2019, and I was making non-COD related TikToks. I had just gotten on the bandwagon, saw people like my videos are still up. You can still scroll down and you can see probably about 3 or 4 months worth of just generic girl TikToks. It was like stuff about my hair or stuff about boys, or like just kind of like whatever content. However, as a lot of people did, COVID hit and it kind of sparked my gaming and stuff like that. So naturally, that being a part of my life, I had made a couple gaming TikToks. And I remember, I think the first one that had when I say blown up, I think it got like 300K, which for me, I was like, oh, I'm famous.
Views or likes?
Views.
Yeah.
Views. And it was just where you drop in Warzone and what that means about you. And it like went huge. People wanted to see more of it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then from there, you can see the generic content kind of fading out. And I became pretty much solely a gaming content creator. Yep. And it used to be very, very niche. It was, throughout 2020, it was like all Warzone content, very much so. And then it shifted to God Zombies and it was very nostalgic. However, you can only make so many like Warzone TikToks or CODs TikToks. So slowly over the years, I've kind of had to broaden my gaming to to Call of Duty as a whole and then to Battle Royale as a whole. And now I'm kind of trying to make things that are a little bit more appealing to a wider audience and stuff like that. It was only in 2021 when kind of Australia, Sydney specifically, had that second lockdown around July that, was still making the TikToks, and that's when stuff just went like kaboom, like actually blew up. I think I went from 100,000 followers in June. I hit it just before my birthday. By August, I had 500,000 followers. It was like in the space of a couple months. So yeah, I was just posting every day because I just liked it and kind of went from there. So yeah, that's kind of the TikTok journey.
I love that. And so what were you were working at, we previously discussed it at the Call of Duty land a few weeks ago, but you were previously working at Rebel, was it not? And then at what point did you say, well, holy shit, this could be something. This is the income possibly. Yeah.
It's so funny. And so in June, when stuff was June, July, stuff was taking off, I had sat down with one of my bosses who just this was just a conversation of a general interest about my life and what I was doing. And she said, what's your goals in 6 months time? And one of them was, in 6 months time, I want to be earning enough from content creation or the same amount from content creation as I am my weekly wage at Rebel Sport. We very quickly surpassed that. Like, it had just gone, and by November, I was a full-time content creator. It was October, November. I had left Rebel to solely do content creation. So it happened very shortly. But yeah, mainly coming from Twitch, and I was starting to get a couple brand deals around the time. So yeah, that's kind of when it kicked off.
So the revenue model with TikTok for yourself, so you have 500,000 followers. How do you make money from that? Do you monetize yourself and get less views, or do you get people sponsoring you, or how does this work?
You don't, unfortunately. TikTok has the Creator Fund, which I think a lot of people have heard of. It is not available in Australia. It's available in the US and the UK and some parts of Europe. Aussies get nothing. So if you want to make content purely from TikTok, it has to be through brand sponsorships.
Yep.
So I was doing that a little bit, but even then I've heard people who are full-time content creators for TikTok, and it's not very much compared to any other monetization platform like YouTube or similar.
Yep.
So yeah, TikTok ain't it, unfortunately.
Okay, so what's the revenue model for the Taylor Morgan then? So it's not TikTok. So how do we make the cash? What are we doing?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways that I earn money. This is a very common question. I think when I say I'm a full-time content creator, everyone's like, so where does the money come from?
Under the table.
For me, yeah, the main ways are, my main one is through brand deals and sponsorships and stuff like that. That is currently my main income and stuff like that. So that's mainly dealt with. I'm with a company called Click Management. That's kind of who deals with it and pass it on, et cetera, et cetera. The second way is through Twitch, and that's through subs and donos and stuff like that. However, as any Twitch streamer would know, it's very hard to rely on that income because it's at the hands of your followers and stuff like that. Somebody might be exceptionally generous one day and gift you hundreds of subs, and then you can get nothing the next month. So try not to rely on that. And then the last one is ad revenue. I've only just gotten monetized on YouTube, but that's slowly kind of starting to kick in. But it's mainly the first two ways that I'm kind of making money.
Yeah, nice. So. Fantastic. And so at the moment with YouTube, we'll jump into that because that's always one that people always are skeptical and they're always curious about. With like, is it 1,000 views equal $1 or 2,000 views equals $5 or what's the breakdown on one of those ones?
It's based on like your viewer retention mainly.
Yep.
It's not so much. It kind of goes because you get paid out monthly from YouTube. It's kind of more along the lines of like if you have like a certain amount of views with a certain amount of viewer retention, you will make X amount. It's kind of not so much like a set like one view $1.
Yep.
You kind of looked at
Imagine that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I would love to know Mr. Beast's accountant then. That would be that would be hectic, even though they got their work cut out for them. But so there's no really set model, but along those lines basically. So when we look at YouTube and stuff like that, there's something called YouTube Studio, which gives you like a whole breakdown. Like if I look at my latest YouTube video, I can see like it'll rank it videos like your last 10
out of 10
videos.
out of 10
yeah yep. And you can see like your average viewer retention, like the views in like sorry, how long people watched it for, how many views it got in comparison, like kind of where you're sitting on that mark, yada yada. That's kind of the I don't want to say KPIs, but I guess KPIs that it goes off.
Okay. Yeah, see, I've done that as well, and like sometimes I do fire in the dark with stuff, but with my vlogs, for example, the Call of Duty one went really well because I think that a lot of people wanted to see themselves in the video, which is why it goes well. But then compared to like a regular vlog, like that goes well as well, but not as well as a Call of Duty one. A Call of Duty LAN event isn't every weekend. So it's like, holy shit, what do you vlog? Like,
what do you do?
What do you vlog? So I can only vlog like events that I go to and things that I seem like, oh yeah, that can be interesting and I can get some content out of that. But let's I really want to. I've got this. What's the question I was going to ask? But I want to jump into what's a secret strategy that others that made you stand. Okay, hang on. Let's reshuffle that. What's a secret strategy that you used that others didn't that made you stand out from the crowd?
I think like it's kind of hard because every time you think you know what made you blow up or what made you do this, that, like someone goes and disproves it or like it doesn't apply to everybody. I think myself at this current day, I can kind of only imagine, I guess for myself, I think my niche comes from being a genuine gamer, and I don't say that in terms of putting down other women.
Shots fired!
Taylor Morgan cancelled. Oh my god!
Who are they?
I can hear the comments now. Taylor Morgan hates women. Taylor Morgan hates women. Not true. Love women.
Taylor Morgan hates Creator. Taylor Morgan hates Lachlan Power. Taylor Morgan hates Loser Fruit. They're all dogs.
Put down the thumbnail. They're all. You heard it here first.
They're dogs.
Nah, but I think the market typically for the last, like if you think of female gamers, if you type up gamer girl in Google, what are you gonna find? Like
heaps of it now. It's everyone's fucking title in their streams. It's ridiculous.
Literally.
And Warzone Queen, Movement Queen, and everything.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I think I was kind of coming into a market that is exceptionally oversaturated by those types of women, whether they're doing a great job or not. Like go for it, Queen. You slay. But I think it was almost like the tables had turned a little bit in the fact that like I genuinely do play COD and I genuinely do just kind of muck around. And these are like the content I make isn't women specific and it's not streamer specific. It's just gaming content in general. Whether or not there's appeal there because I'm a woman and stuff like that, I'll leave that to the e-boys to decide. But I think in general, like, I don't know. I think I see a lot of like streamers trying to make it as like TikTokers and like trying to get big on different platforms, and I see them solely making like really, really like, when you're streaming and that one chatter says something about your cousin 2 weeks ago, and you're just like, mate, like this is probably getting pushed to like a I don't know, some uni student that like plays FIFA recreationally. Like they're not going to know what you're talking about. Whereas if you can kind of make it a little bit broader and encompassing everyone, people will kind of get into that. I don't know. I think there's a couple layers to it, like the content in general, and then whether you want to go into the nitty gritty of like females have it easier, men have it easier. Like that's a whole other can of worms. But that's very surface level, kind of how I think I got to where I am now.
Yeah, there is a lot of debate about girls having it easier than boys and boys having it easier than girls and stuff. And it does go both ways. Like boys don't get bullied as much and sexually harassed as girls, but then girls do grow faster than boys, but they only grow to a certain cap. This is from direct observation. Like a girl will grow really fast to 500 viewers, but that's where she caps. A bloke will grow slower, but cap out at, I don't know, 10,000. And it's totally different. Like they can be, and then a lot of people come for the quick cash grab. You know, during COVID, there might have been people that done different content with spas and shit. You know, they might have wanted to do that, get a quick cash grab, and then you never see them again. Or there's other people that just stay on the platform, grind, and want to build that community and have those awesome people around them.
Yeah, I think something very often that gets overlooked is like when people say like, oh, men are more successful, women are more successful, yada yada. It's like, how are you actually measuring successful? Because, you know, someone like Amaranth, to be honest, I haven't looked at like her views or anything like that. I'm not her. I'm just using an example.
We just know her.
Just know of her. You know, she could get hundreds of thousands of views, for example, but they could just be, if we take Twitch, for example, they could just be sitting there looking at her for free, listening to her because they think she's hot and just like viewing her. That could be a measure of success because she has all these viewers. But what if none of them are donating and she's not making any money from it? Whereas if you looked at someone that had, I don't know, 70 average viewers, but they were so like, they just like, and it's a guy, and they just go, man, this guy is awesome. I really love his content. That's sick. And every single one of them donated. Would you value the success as having 100,000 viewers of people who aren't donating, or 70 viewers and no one knows who this guy is, but he's making bank? You know, that's a very specific example, but I think that's something that very often gets overlooked when you're talking about the debate of men and women. It's the value of your viewers and what that actually means for you as a content creator. Oh,
for sure. Like I remember I had a debate with a chick on an inbox one time, and she's like, oh, Facebook, because we both started Facebook at the exact same time, right? She's like, oh, Facebook's so hard for a girl to grow on Facebook. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's your view count and your followers right now? I already knew the answer to the question. She said, well, she had 2,000 at the time, or 3,000 at the time, and she was averaging about 50 viewers. And I'm like, okay, well, I joined and I'm only on like 360 followers and averaging about 10 viewers. So like, pipe down, bro. Like, relax. And then like, calm down, mate. Like, you know, don't say that it's harder when you're popping off and like, I'm a bloke, so completely opposite. And I'm not. Obviously, sometimes the algorithms work in different favors and stuff. And with Facebook, I'm pretty sure the CSPs can actually pay and promote and boost streams, so they can do that and choose to do that and whatnot. But it's a massive debate. But the one I put forward is that we'll say that Amaranth has her 10,000 viewers, 20,000 people, and some people have to realize that those 10,000 wouldn't be anywhere else if she wasn't on the platform. So they wouldn't be coming around and watching Call of Duty content or Apex or Fortnite. They don't give a shit. They're just there to watch her titties and donate to change her bather top.
Slay queen.
And that's it. And that's it.
Absolutely.
So then she can buy like all these petrol stations and properties that she has. Dude, she's killing it. Amaranth is fucking killing it, bro.
100%.
Have you seen the video of her getting kicked out of a gym for streaming?
No.
Oh, it's the funniest thing.
Maybe, is that the one where she's like filming herself? And
she's streaming in a gym and she's stretching, and they're like, we know that you're streaming. She's like, no, I'm not. She's like, we've got it on the
we've got it. We can see it behind
we've got
you.
it.
Yes.
We've got it on the monitor on the reception desk, and she got kicked out of a gym.
Oh, I remember seeing that video before I even knew who she was. Like, that clip went went viral. But you're so right. Like, you know, it's not like she's taking anybody's viewers. Like you said, they wouldn't be on the platform. Like, they're not going to go, oh, I have a spare, I don't know, 30 minutes. I'm going to go watch somebody else now. It's like, no, they came for her.
They're there for her. I think the beneficial, the way to look, and yes, it does suck. It's shit that she can just go there and you know, and do that. I understand that part of it because it's like, well, is she working hard? Not really. She's just there, and she does have a couple of assets that she did pay extra for to get bolted on. But that aside, like, I understand where people are coming from. I get it. But the way I kind of look at it as well is that you kind of hope that about 1% of those 10,000, so about 100 people, might branch off somewhere else and they might stumble across you. So then that's an extra few people that you may have or someone else may have on the platform. It's just more people on the platform, which helps the overall grand scheme of things grow the ecosystem on Twitch, which you know, people have their views on Twitch and whatnot. People are saying that Twitch may go under in the next few years, and actually it might change all to YouTube and Facebook. So it's huge. I don't know what's going on. Have you heard those rumors?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so invested in it because it's a question. Like, you know, we were talking before. I went out with a couple streamers last night just for some drinks, and we were across all platforms. You know, and it's the topic of streamers. Will you stay on Twitch? Will you move to this? Is Facebook? Is YouTube? Is yada yada yada? I think every platform has something to offer people, and no platform is better than the other. However, if we're talking about Twitch needs to get it together because I swear to God, like, they're going to lose a lot more people than they already are. I think they, like, the one benefit to Twitch is they are known as the streaming platform. That is, like, when you think of streamers, you think of Twitch. However, their monetization, like, is so old school, you know? Was it 50-50 for affiliates and 70-30 for partners?
It's like 60-40 their way.
Yeah. And they want to reduce that. They're talking about cutting that down.
Yeah.
And it's like people are already kind of like, well, what does Twitch have to offer me? Because it's so difficult to grow on Twitch. Like, there is like very little.
Shithouse.
Absolutely. Like, anybody can tell you that. So the one benefit that Twitch has, which is like people that kind of already have a platform and bring it over Twitch, that's kind of like I see the market as. If they're like taking away the pay cut for these like already kind of big creators, why wouldn't they just like take their following and say sayonara and yeet over to YouTube like we've seen with like Sykkuno and Tin the Tatman and all that? Like, it's just, to be honest, a matter of time. If they keep it up, I could very much see it going under, and I don't think creators will hesitate to jump ship.
You know what Twitch needs? I don't know if they have it already. I personally haven't seen it. You may be able to tell me on this, but say that Twitch is the app on your phone, okay? And they have a section where it's purely just clips. Like, we're talking about a TikTok integration for Twitch. And every time that you see a clip, it gives obviously revenue to that person and Twitch as well. And it also keeps people, it kind of makes user acquisition a bit more valuable to Twitch.
Yeah.
And so every time someone sees one, instead of following like a TikTok page, they follow the Twitch page. And it would take them to there. They can chat. They can donate from the video as well if you wanted to. Because the way I see it, that would probably keep them in the game, because then people would shift to that. Because there's no well, YouTube, yes, but there's so many fucking hours worth of content that can be clipped and put up there by an AI bot that can put things on there. Imagine if it did it all for people, and that would be the discovery platform of a lifetime. That would pop off. That would help Twitch so much.
100%.
Twitch is
absolutely.
TikTok's probably going to be a platform soon in the future where you're going to have to pay, right? You're going to have to pay a subscription for a week to give you, I don't know, unlimited swipes. Or you just stick to your 50 swipes a day, you know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that's how they'll monetize. That's how I see it. How do you see TikTok being in the future?
It's quite hard, because I hear a lot of stuff that's like, oh, TikTok's going to be dead in like a year. It's another phase, yada, yada. But I don't know. I see TikTok staying around for a while. And I don't know. I think I think it's going to change, and I think it's going to evolve. I don't know whether I could see it being a subscription service, because I think there's too many young people on the app that like where that would be like financially viable, like because kids would just go like, oh crap, like I gotta skedaddle now, like I don't have any money, which are massive consumers. Whereas to like run ads, I could definitely see it. Do you remember when we were like on YouTube? YouTube was massive, and they started playing like double ads, like from the
disgusting.
beginning. 100%. I could see it be like you have like unskippable ads and stuff like that in between your feed. That's
Like
where
Snapchat.
I reckon. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I reckon it'd probably end up going to.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame. I'm not.
Please.
That was, remember the OG YouTube app? There was like the grey like TV looking thing, the brown
with
TV
like the
app.
little like
With the little
100%.
dials like left to right, like that that little toy game from like Toy Story. The children's thing.
Like Etch a Sketch. Like,
I don't know how that works. I have no idea. I think it was like an X-axis and a Y-axis, and you should draw
magic.
like that. But it's definitely different. I hope that they don't monetize it that way. Although it would help probably people like yourself out and myself if I ever did anything with it. But it's crazy to see how much push there used to be compared to how much push there was now. Like you could post a shit ass dog shit video 2 years ago and it would pop off for some reason. But now everything has to be so perfectly set, and the quality has to be set, and then the audio, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what though, if it did, like before I knew that the creator marketplace was not like vital, it's not available in Australia, there was big talk of like, you know, whether you go to the creator marketplace or you don't, because like TikTok suppresses your views and stuff like that. Like I'm sure you've heard that. I am so superstitious when it comes to my TikTok, and I've actually heard a couple people talking about this. When I post a TikTok, what I do is, and I'll tell you the theory, it's going to sound crazy. I'll post a TikTok like in the morning. I then switch. I've got two TikTok accounts.
Two?
I then switch. Yeah, I've got my gaming account and then my like personal account.
Ooh.
I post one with my game account. I then switch over to my personal account, and then I close the app for 3 hours, and I will not go on TikTok for those 3 hours. And this started 2 years ago when somebody put this idea in my head, and I sound crazy. I sound like a lunatic. But the theory is TikTok wants you to come back to the... please. No, there's a reason. TikTok wants you to come back to the app. So, like the idea is if you close it and you play hard to get with TikTok, it'll like increase your views. And I swear to God, I live to it by this day because I've seen it firsthand on all of my videos because I'll leave it. And I swear to God, I'll come back to a video and it has 70,000 views or something like that after the 3 hour mark. And the second I'm back on the account, it'll go up in like little baby inches after that. Like it'll not go. And I swear to God, I live by it. I swear by it. Chad from Cold Ones as well. I told this to him not long ago. He got his editor to start implementing it. His videos popping off. I swear to God. Try it, please.
Damn. You know what I heard from this clip? I heard really good strategy, but also I found a really good reel for me to put up from this podcast. Okay, yeah. That's all I got from this clip, just right there. Perfect. Yeah, Taylor Morgan's superstition. It's more superstitious.
Cut out all the crap of me being an honest gamer, etc., etc. Yep. Nah, close the app.
Yeah, it's all about. It's more superstitious than what's his name? Nadal picking his wedgie, picking his nose, and flicking his head back twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely.
What is one of the coolest experiences that you've had from since jumping into a content creator role? Like, you know, I know that there's plenty of things that you told me at the Codland, but for the viewers, give us a few experiences.
Probably working with Monster. Like, honestly, they are genuinely, when you talk about brands and stuff like that, I couldn't ask for a better company to be affiliated with, because from the get-go, not only have I done like just like amazing experiences and stuff like that, but like I've met like all the higher ups from like Monster. I've met them higher ups from Coke and stuff like that. I have genuine relationships with them, and they care about me as a creator. And like I've got to like, because I'm big into cars and motorbikes and stuff like that, so they like taking me to V8s, like the Moto GP, all them and stuff like the Bathurst 1000, going to those and being in like corporate suites and stuff like that. But not only like being in corporate suites, but like being in corporate as like an influencer, you know, like it's so unreal. Like just stuff you dream about or see. I remember I'd taken my dad because I got a +1 to the first one of the first V8s that I had gone to, and he was like, "Oh my god, like we're fancy, we're royalty, etc., etc." And it was just so cool. But they're genuinely like, I love them as a brand, and I feel very, very included in the Monster family. But just like any of the events affiliated with Monster, like I've got some cool ones coming up towards the end of the year as well. Very, very excited about. So yeah, definitely any of the Monster stuff.
That's awesome. I'm really admirable about the Monster stuff, especially the V8s. I'm hanging on to what's going on with Red Bull this year, but hopefully the boys can get me in a car for Chiefs, because as I was telling you, like I actually took it out yesterday, but my SSV Redline Wagon, everyone in the chat listening right now would know what that is, but it's the equivalent of my supercar, and I'm obsessed with them, bro. I went out, bought a steering wheel, started driving like the Bathurst. All I did for like a month on stream, just drive Bathurst on stream and stuff with the wheel and the pedals and everything going on. And I love the motorsport is so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. It's a shame. 100%. It's weird that Monster's not in Formula One. That's quite strange. Considering how big Coke is.
Yeah, they sponsor like the racer, like specifically, but like Mercedes and stuff like that. Like they kind of look after was Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, so they do stuff, but they're not quite like, it's not quite the same as like Monster sponsoring like Tickford Racing for like Cam Waters, etc. So yes and no. Okay,
yeah, fair enough. Who's the most famous person you've met through content creation?
Oh, Probably Chad from Cold Ones. That's quite a cool one for any like the Filthy Frank fans out there. He's quite an OG in the YouTube scene and stuff like that. He was actually, before I was like ever signed to management and stuff like that, one of my friends had actually messaged me and gone, "Taylor," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Chad, anything for views, follows you on Instagram and TikTok." And I was like, "No way." And I looked at him because I was always a fan, but I hadn't followed him, so I followed him back and I messaged him and I sent him like this super cringy like, "Thank you so much for following me. Like, I appreciate it." And he was like, "Lol, don't be weird." like he was super just like down to earth. But I actually met him when I was down in Melbourne, because that's where he lives. And he was the coolest dude, man. Like genuinely, you talk about like arsehole content creators and stuff like that. But like he had people, when we were just hanging out in Fortress, he had people coming up to him all the time, and he had the time of day for everybody that came up to him. There was this kid that was like, I don't know, 14, 15, and just like sat down, had a conversation with him, and just was super, super cool about it. So yeah, probably Chad, which is very, very hectic.
I've actually met him too. I met him like 4 years ago when I first started at GGE's. And it was it was a real quick conversation, I'm pretty sure. Because he was at a table and stuff, and he's like, "What are you about?" and stuff, and I was, answered, and we chatted for it. Well, it wasn't a quick one. It was like more like a 5-minute conversation. So that's quick. Yeah. That's quick enough to me. I guess nowadays a quick thing, going by the TikTok era, it's 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely an interesting character. I know that he got in trouble for something. I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh, typical him, because I didn't know who he was. So I was like, that guy, it definitely doesn't surprise me. And then I found out who he was. I'm like, now it makes sense. I'm like, that also doesn't surprise me. I could definitely tell he was a character of mischief, which is he's banned from these platforms and doing all these funny things and shit. It's like
he's a cheeky man.
Absolutely, it's just a pisser, man. You've got to have those people in life, man. Otherwise,
absolutely.
Any
100%.
like big time celebrities though, like people that everyone would know, like people that aren't in gaming.
Probably not. I don't think. Not
Cam Waters. Come on, surely Cam.
Cam Waters. Yeah, he's a legend. He's very, very cool. A lot of like the VA races. Trying to think. No one. No movie stars, unfortunately. I met Tiffany Hall. That's really random. But like, if you watch Biggest Loser, I saw her at the shops once, and I was like, no.
Who's someone that you'd really want to meet? A celebrity, like A-lister.
Margot Robbie. I'm obsessed with Margot Robbie. I love her. I've like you know when you like have a partner and you talk about like hall passes and stuff like that. Like if you meet any celebrity and you can get married to anybody, who is it? Margot Robbie forever will always be mine. I genuinely love her. Her and Chris Hemsworth, like they're my two. Like like ride or die.
Hey, she is gorgeous. She was very
stunning.
gorgeous in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
The
very
accent
much so.
though, a little bit weird. Very, very
She
weird.
could Aussie, yeah,
But
100%.
she's definitely really nice on the eye. For me
She
personally,
seems lovely.
for
Yeah,
me
go on.
personally, the top three would have to be Dwayne Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, and I think Eminem.
I love Eminem.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
all those guys are funny as fuck. I
Yeah.
think Marshall would have something weird about him, but he'd be funny. But
Yeah.
people in the comments that are listening right now, let us know who your top three celebrities are that you'd want to meet.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
the next thing is like, what's the first question you ask them? Because you want to think
Yeah.
about something outside the box that they don't get
You don't
asked all
wanna
the
be
time.
like, yeah.
How's your day going?
He
Nick?
doesn't weird them out either. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be some weirdos. Like,
I think
what
the best
kind
thing.
of cheese do I like?
Yeah, I think the best thing meeting someone like that, you just be like, hey, nice to meet you, Dwayne or Marshall or Mark. I'm Jackson. Nice to meet you, buddy. And
Yeah.
that's it. I think that if you hold yourself to that degree and stuff, they're generally really nice people. So they ask how you're
Yeah.
going and stuff. And you kind of have to
Absolutely.
branch out from there and try get personable if you have that time and whatnot. I think that a good one
Yeah.
for those people would be like kids and stuff and how's your kid going and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
Because you genuinely do, if you're that type of person, I always love hearing about people's families and stuff, and are they doing Auskick or are they doing these things? And I remember when I used to go on school excursions and Mum used to come and it was the best thing ever and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it was the best. I remember school excursions and I'm like, Mum, can you please come? Can you please come? And Mum would come and whatnot. And it was always the best having your mum there at a school excursion.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Can you relate?
Yeah, mum was like so a part of she was like our coaches,
Yeah.
volunteers. Mum was a part of everything. Like my mum's a legend. My mum's a certified legend. So I was always like, yep, that's my mum. Yep. So
Yeah,
100%.
and your friends are like, "Oh, your mum's so cool,"
Yeah.
because like she might make like a funny joke or something, and you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
She goes, "Right."
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
That's my
we were always
mum.
like the party house. We were the party house. Like
Yeah.
my parents love like throwing events and doing stuff. So like whenever they would meet, oh yeah, like you made the fairy bread. Like that was
Yep,
so cool
the
and
fairy
stuff like
bread.
that. So absolutely.
How long has it been since you had fairy bread, man?
I had it at my 18th birthday party.
Okay,
I was craving fairy bread and I was like, I'm an adult. I make my own food choices.
make
When was the
your
last
own,
time
mate,
you had fairy bread?
bro. I don't know. Actually,
I think you're overdue for fairy bread.
I think it might have been not long ago. It might have been a few months ago because I went to a park near me with some friends, and I think they made fairy bread, so I had one slice. But prior to that, don't
One
remember.
slice.
Well, they
You
bought
criminal.
these. They
Criminal.
bought 2 platters of Subway.
Yeah,
Actually, no,
right,
they bought
okay.
one platter of Subway. There's like 15 pieces between 4 of
Yeah.
us, like
Fair
2
enough.
chicks, 2 blokes, and I had like a few, and yeah, I was absolutely so full, man. Those platters are so good. You ever had a Subway
Oh, yeah.
platter?
Yeah, 100% they
They're
are.
elite, man, and you feel pretty fresh
Absolutely.
afterwards. But I did my time at Subway for a long time, and we were always throwing shit everywhere, and because you only allowed like a 6-inch roll for lunch. So
Yeah.
we'd always like put like a ton of shit in the fucking toasted sandwich maker. It was like,
Yeah,
fuck it.
yep.
Like 2 pieces of schnitzel, 2 pieces of chicken classic, stack it in
Load
there.
it up.
Which you just put on the side. You eat your roll
100%.
and then have that stuff on the side, which is super dope.
Yeah.
But what's an event that you're looking forward to for the end of the year or coming up?
Ah, I've got a secret one that I can't talk about yet,
can.
but
You can.
No,
We won't tell anyone.
can't.
We won't tell anyone.
Okay,
They just
I'll
listen.
say too. I've got a secret one that you'll hear about within the next 2 weeks. I'm not sure whether this podcast's coming out, where it is, but it will be coming out very, very soon.
It'll be
but I
after that.
can't-
This podcast is posted in 3 weeks' time. So
No, I can't.
by then it'll be 3 weeks.
All I'll say is it's COD related. It's COD related, and when you see it, it will be very cool. That's the main one. But I'll say another event. I guess I'm really keen for PAX and DreamHack because I've never been. I was never in the content creation scene. Like for those kinds of events and stuff like that, and obviously with COVID and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to DreamHacks with Monster, which will be very cool. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
Do they have their own
super
booth there
looking-
and stuff?
Yeah, yep. They got the whole like VIP area and stuff like that as
Yeah,
well.
sweet.
So
I'll have to pop
that'll be
in.
very cool.
I'll have to pop in.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you, are you going to PAX, DreamHacks, any of them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be at both of those.
Hell yeah.
And whatnot. I'm very excited. Very keen. Very keen.
Yeah, very keen.
The last time,
100%.
though, it was called Melbourne Esports Open, DreamHack.
Oh, really?
So it wasn't.
Ah.
So DreamHack is an event organizer from the States, and they've taken it over. So now it's become like an international event because it was supposed to be MEO 2019, but that was 2020, but that was cancelled due to COVID.
Yeah.
And then obviously DreamHack has invested into it and said we'll run the event and we'll have IEM included in that, as well as the Halo Championship Series, which I'm fucking winning that free for all. I'm telling you, I'm winning that free for all at that event. Barcode,
hell yeah.
Barcode, we are teammates on the Chiefs, and yes, you are arguably the best player in Australia at the moment. Actually, you definitely are because of your stat line. It's fucking ridiculous, but I'm beating you, bro. I'm beating you.
Called out.
LAN
You
is
heard
a game
it here
between...
first, Jacko GFreak, causing controversy, rippling the waters.
LAN is a game between the ears, okay? And I'm going to get in your fucking head, son. Okay,
Oh.
I'm getting in there. But you better win the championship here in the country, okay? Win that one, but don't worry about the free-for-all. It's not important.
Don't worry about the free-for-all. Just
let me get it so then I can fly on the plane with you guys, and then we can have multiple Chiefs people overseas.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Are you into Halo?
Nah, I played a little as a kid, like regional Xbox kind of days, but I didn't really touch it like when they got that remaster similar. It's just not I don't know, it's not my thing.
Oh, it's such a vibe, man.
Yeah, you're into it?
Oh, it's so good. I haven't played it for a while.
What am I missing out on?
We're missing out on big jumps, plenty of grenades, plenty of grunting and punching. Like,
Nah, yep.
and it all happens. And
Pretty sure I saw all of that at LAN, but
yeah, and yeah, we did. Halo is such a good game to watch and play, but it's just the rank system's fucked. It was just like you get punished so hard. Like it punishes you harder than Apex's update right now. I don't know if you've played that,
right.
but it fucking bends you over, no lube, and it just hurts.
Goes for it. Yeah,
it's not good. But what was your actually speaking about that LAN a couple of weeks ago? What was your favorite part of that LAN?
Probably I wasn't I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. The shit talking between between the teams and stuff like that. Like because I kind of was like, I didn't know too many people there, so I was quite reserved and kind of watching, and then all of a sudden just hear like, your mum sucks, and like just like across the table, and I'm like, whoa, like who are these guys and stuff like that. Like just the energy and the shit talking. I have so many clips. There was so like Gravity Gaming lived on my my Instagram rent free from I think it was Joel, like just absolutely going for it and stuff like that. I was not expecting that, but it was definitely a highlight.
Bro, we were both in there at the end. For people listening right now, Taylor and I were still on the stage, and we're just like sitting next to each other, and we're just like, bro, we want this to be over. Like, hurry the fuck up. And it was 2 best of 5.
So lame.
Because
it was so late.
Because the team that was Mindfreak, it was versus Mindfreak and Point Blank Gaming. And Point Blank came from the losers, so they had to win 2 best of 5s. And so they won the first best of 5. We're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then it got to like, it was like a 2-0, and then Mindfreak won a map, and we're like, oh, just lose already.
Just lose.
Just lose already. And it ended up going 3-1 on the last series. But we're just like, I just want to go home, man, because there was a big delay between because
there was huge.
There was some sort of like technical issue, which you know, shout out to the boys for dealing with all those things and crowd control. It was great. It was a shame that we never got to use the main stage. Hopefully, Fortress, if you guys are listening, let us use it. Come on, it's a grassroots event.
Fortress.
I know it does cost
100%.
a little bit of money, but it's the grassroots thing. It's the coverage. It's that extra little bit of thing on top, which makes our region a little bit more, investable. You know, people want to invest over here if they see that shit happening. They're running
Australia.
Exactly. They're running a great thing with the House Cup stuff that they've got down there at Fortress Melbourne, but they could do better. They could help these events out and get behind it, which would be super dope.
Absolutely.
But it's a cool venue, and there's one coming up in Sydney as well.
Yeah. Well, is that actually confirmed yet? Because I know it was like speculation of whether they so there's actually going to Sydney. Yeah.
So you've got one in Sydney as well. So it won't be like moving from Melbourne. It won't be coming up there. It's just expanding. Okay, you haven't stolen it, Taylor.
Additional.
Okay, you haven't stolen it, mate.
Maybe one day we're coming for you,
no
Melbourne.
fucking way. Okay,
We'll get there one
stolen
day.
it. No thieving. Hell
yeah.
It's moving to Sydney, and I think that the venue there's bigger than the Melbourne one too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, how much more shit can you do? But it just
Because
goes to
Sydney's
show.
better. Because Sydney's better.
What events do you have up there?
Shush. Supercars. City
Supercars, and I don't know what else do you have up there.
What was the next question?
Next question is do you feel the pressure from getting income every week from what you do?
Yes and no. From the beginning, like I knew that content creation is such a volatile industry, and the fact that I could wake up tomorrow and Call of Duty's out of style and I make no money. Like it's one of those things. So I've been smart with my savings in that regard. However, I do feel the pressure quite a fair bit. Like I think when someone looks at a content creator on the outside, I think they very much look at the macro and they go, oh, you have X amount of followers, you have this, you have that, you're doing this, blah, blah. But I think content creators typically focus on the micro. So like I tend to be quite hard on myself. If I have a stream that didn't do so well or like had low viewers or like low subs, and I go, like, what did I do? Like, is it the game? Is it me? Is it like what is this? You know, if I'm looking at my stats and stuff like that, which I think is a lot of just, I think general anxiety. I'm sure any content creator can relate.
Yep.
So I think it's just more being like, you kind of have to just reassure yourself that you're just going to keep riding the wave as it comes and just like adapt as well as you can, but you know, just go with the flow kind of thing.
Yeah. Otherwise you can get yourself in that like mental rut and whatnot. I was discussing.
I feel like that's when you see like streamers and YouTubers going off the edge. Like you hear about people that just like lose their minds and stuff. It's because their content was dropping, and the only way to make money again is to just be absolutely ridiculous. Like Nikocado Avocado. I'm not sure if you've seen him.
I have,
but he
had a run-in with Trisha, I think. Yeah,
probably.
She was bagging around or something.
Yeah, he used to make like vegan lifestyle videos and stuff like that. And then it turned into, he gained like, I think 150 kilos, and it just turned into him doing these like absurd mukbangs and him just screaming and crying and banging the thing. And like, it's so absurd, but like, he's like, I have to do it to bring in the money. And I'm like,
yeah. Oh, for sure. There's a lot of, speaking about like overweight and stuff, there's a lot of people that do get into those mental ruts, and then they become overweight, and like that's where I know that we're getting like into how like the real life type of stuff, but it's just how we are on this podcast. We talk about those real facts.
Absolutely, keeping it real.
Exactly right. But a lot of people do suffer from these like these mental I guess mental health problems that, and I think it comes down to a lot of diet. Like our gut health is so important, and so people that have a lot of these issues, they generally are. We'll stereotype it. They generally are a little bit overweight. So, and that comes down to how their body reacts and feels to their gut bacteria getting absolutely mashed by the shit stuff that they're putting through their bodies. Like I know, like for myself, I'm sure you can relate. If you eat like a meal that you know is bad, and then you like sit down and you're like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
I don't feel good.
So
like KFC, the enjoyment to regret ratio.
Yeah. And like, and they if they doing that every day, it's just like it's just you feel bad, but then it kind of catches up to you and it gets through and starts seeping into your brain and your mental drive and stuff, and you start becoming slow and sluggish, and then you feel sorry for yourself and whatnot. It's a tough thing to combat, and it happens a lot in gaming. It really does.
100%. I feel like it's quite a meme, like, oh, go outside and touch grass, haha. But I think it's very easy as gamers, like where your enjoyment is inside and stuff like that, like to actually go out and do stuff and like do the human things that we need. I'd seen a TikTok that was like this girl basically saying that like she, like, not speaking on behalf of everybody, but I cured my depression by eating better, going outside and like doing stuff. And she was like slandered in the comments. Everyone's like, that's not going to work and stuff like that. Like my depression is clinical. And she's like, have you tried it? When was the last time you you went for a walk and stuff, and people kind of eventually were like, oh, she kind of got a point. Like, it's so true. Like, you have to get back to doing the healthy things, you know? I would love to scroll on TikTok all day, but I don't think I'd do too well if I didn't leave my house.
Yeah, well, it gives you that like endorphin looking at your phone and scrolling, which is what exercise does, but you're tricking your body into thinking that you're getting exercise by releasing that endorphin. So by going out there, even for a walk for 20 minutes, if you're doing nothing, it's that gradual progressive overload. And if you are listening to the podcast, like, just eat a little bit less. And if you don't want to work out, just eat a little bit less than what you think that you're burning. Look up your BMI, understand how that type of stuff works, and just eat in a deficit instead of a surplus. And you'll lose weight without even exercising. But I do recommend going outside, sitting in your backyard if you have the time, reading a book or scrolling on TikTok if you're not doing anything. And
I'll do that. I'll scroll on TikTok outside.
This does sound weird. This next part's going to sound weird, but lift up your shirt to like just below your chest, below your nipples, right? And that's where you get your best vitamin D through your stomach. It's your best intake through your for vitamin D. So if you're lacking vitamin D, this is fact. This is fact. The best vitamin D levels is through your stomach. So get out there, lift up your shirts, and just sit in the backyard and just get that intake happening. Okay, because
you just need to cut to a clip of Jacko outside of his house, just lifting up his shirt.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying before. Like, your gut health is so important to your head health that it all links to that. So getting your vitamin D on your gut and it goes straight to it, it doesn't have to travel as far compared to your arm.
Yeah, right.
Bit of a dumb theory there. Maybe it might work, may not, but
maybe
it works, and that's just how it is. The same as, like, for example, holding on to your poo. Like, if you hold on to your poo and you don't go to the toilet, now we're getting into something different. You hold on to your poo, you're going to have to get like a colonoscopy and get your guts cut out. I can't remember what the procedure called, and then you have to poo into a bag, because you can't put your butt because it doesn't work.
Like colostomy bag or whatever. Yeah,
one of those ones.
I know what you're talking about.
That happens. Same as peeing. You just got to let it out. It's all about looking after yourself and whatnot.
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
some people
100%.
are on the production line somewhere, and they can't have a break or something. But just say, hey, it's going to fuck me up in 20 years' time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Union,
absolutely.
Let us outside.
But back to the main point. I think that it's all about just doing what suits you. That girl got roasted and stuff, and it's so crazy how savage people can be. Like, it really is savage. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid. I hate the internet sometimes. I've gone many a TikTok rant about like cancel culture and stuff like that. It's just so stupid. So stupid.
Oh, for sure. Hey, so what is your worst and weirdest DM that you've received ever?
Buckle up.
Here we go. Strap yourselves in.
Here we go. Surprisingly, like I get weird DMs like all the time and stuff like that. But this one was like about a year ago probably, and it's still to this day my weirdest DM, and I have no explanation for it. So it's a two-parter. So
here we go. Okay.
I got a notification on my phone, and it was like a female name wants to send you a message, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I have a very low female to male following ratio, so any message from a girl, I'm straight on it. I'm like, well, let's go, ladies. Yeah, the girls. And I open it, and it's a photo of a girl who is like almost completely naked, lying on her stomach, so you couldn't really see anything. But she had
getting a vitamin D.
Through her stomach. She had her underwear pulled over her head. So she was basically like lying on the floor. It was like a side profile view, her lying on the floor with her underwear pulled over her head. And I was like, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to leave that one alone. So I did. And then about a week later, I got a notification from the same account. And it was a video of presumably her boyfriend. Dunno. She was naked with her underwear pulled over his head. He was naked with his underwear pulled over his head. He was lying on his back, and his underwear was like over his head. Sorry if this is a little bit explicit, but she's jerking him off, and they're both moaning Taylor Morgan. And I was like,
whoa,
nothing could have prepared me for this.
Whoa.
I'm going to go ahead and just like gouge my eyes out.
Just a question. Underwear over the head. Are you talking about like they've got big wedgies, or they're just wearing their underwear?
Yeah.
They've got big wedgies.
Big wedgies. Like on the underwear, but like
No way!
Like, yeah. So like this girl, when she was like the first photo, like she was like a semicircle basically, because she like was like this is gonna be so weird for the podcast people like trying to get a visual.
Yeah.
But like she was like on her stomach, like lying flat, and she had her head tilted back, and her underwear is like wedged over her head,
Jesus.
like American high school bully style,
Right.
and then like lying flat. And I'm like, I don't know how you got there, but
Yeah.
you look like you're having fun.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Okay, they might be watching those chiropractic videos on TikTok.
Yeah, maybe there's some yoga trend I'm missing out on. But,
that is very bizarre. That's quite funny, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's to this day pretty weird.
Hey, you probably have to
Pretty
pay
weird.
quite a lot of money for that service.
That's true. Here I am getting them for free. Taylor Morgan is ungrateful. Confirmed.
That's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
very ungrateful, disgusting.
Oh yeah, all of the above.
Yeah, fair enough. Whatever floats your boat, if you're out there. I can't say that I've received those DMs. I generally receive those, I know, weird ones about fitness. Hey, you seem like a fitness influencer. You want to join up on our fucking 30-day plan?
Or such and such wants to work with you.
Yeah.
Send them a message at this, and you're like, no.
And they're like commenting on the DM, and you're like, fuck off, you bot.
DM us. Yeah, 100%.
DM us. What are your? I remember I used to always respond to him and say, "What are your fingers broken, bro?" Like, you know, like you fucking DM me.
There, Nate. Like, yeah, you DM me. Come on, bro. Don't you know who I am?
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, so advice for streamers and marketing. Do you have any for people that are new into the scene?
It depends on where you're streaming. Like if you're on Twitch, like we kind of talked about before, it's really hard to, like, the algorithm basically does nothing for you, and your traffic source has to be from elsewhere. I think what leads people, because like we talk about Gen Z and their attention span and stuff like that. It's actually kind of an effort to go from watching someone on TikTok to their link tree, to their stream, check it out, hit the follow button. Like, that's actually like a series of efforts these days. So I think people have to be interested in you. And I think if people are just interested in you as a whole, they're more likely to come to whichever platform you say, hey, you can see more of me on this platform, etc., whether that's Instagram, Twitch, etc. Like we talked about before as well, not being so niche, I guess. Like if you make content about like cooking streams and stuff like that, like don't make your TikTok about, I don't know, like mowing your lawn or something like that. Like keep it within the same realm, but just like try and throw some personality in there. I don't know. I never found success with putting clips from Twitch on TikTok. It just never did anything for me, nor have I ever really seen any clips from TikTok and gone, I want to follow this person. Like, I just go, oh, that was a cool clip. Like, scroll.
Yep.
Whereas people that I see making memes, I can see their sense of humor and their character and stuff like that. I go, oh, that guy seems cool. I want to check him out on Twitch and kind of go from there. Same with like Instagram and stuff like that. I go, oh, this person's cool. Like, I want to see what else they're doing. I think that's more of the way, and I think people typically don't like that answer because it seems so obvious and it seems so broad, but it's true. I have a theory that
Here we go.
If people like you in real life, like if you have friends and you're a generally likable person, you can make it anywhere on Twitch. It just has to do with you marketing and stuff like that and getting that out to as many people as you can. Like, I've got friends that are like, are charismatic as hell, and there's people that you just like love, like they're just cool people. If they were to jump on like any platform and like show them, they would gain like traction and followers. So I think it's less about like, oh, I got on it this time and I posted here and I did this and like the mechanics of it. I think it's just like, generally, like, would you consider a likable person? Yes. Cool. Show people that. Show people who you are, and you will do well. Yep. That's kind of my
you do like the Brofessor grid. You're like, do you want to stream? Yes.
Yes.
Are you a likable person? Yes. Are you hot? No. Then you're not a streamer.
You're not a streamer. Oh my god, I would love to create a flow chart of like, should you be a streamer? Yes or no? Like, going through those. That's funny.
I think I might have just given you an idea and myself an idea. There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
absolutely. Make sure you're following Jacko on his socials to see his should you be a streamer?
Yes, exactly. Oh, fuck, I should fucking do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should you be a streamer? Yes. Do you have a personality? Yes. Do you have muscles? No. You're not a streamer.
I'd say be a streamer. Like, do you have muscles? Yes. Go to Instagram or like something like that, or like go to like a different platform. But if you don't have muscles, then like
got OnlyFans?
Here. Like,
No.
Which platform should you be on? Like, which platform should you be on? You make the flow chart. And it's like, are you hot? Yes. Like, go to Instagram, or like, are you funny? Yes, go here. Are you only funny in groups? Yes, go to YouTube or something like that. Like something like that. Like,
is your dick big? Yes. Go to OnlyFans. Is your dick big? Dick big? No. Go to Twitch.
Go to Twitch. Yes, absolutely. Just cry about it, then go to Twitch.
Yeah.
take a second to grieve, and
then you can do one for chicks. Do you have a cup bigger than B? No.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. Just fucking random shit. Get 100%. Shit heated in there. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I want to do this, Taylor. I think I might get roasted. I don't know, bro.
Nah, I would love to see. I'd love to see it from you. I would love to see Jacko GFreak
in the mullet. Mullet, just talking out 100%. Shit. Okay, that would be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny.
I reckon.
I could do that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I do like your theory about not posting a video that you're putting on TikTok 7 days later, within 7 days. That was a good theory. I think that wasn't a theory, though. That was actually proven, correct?
That was proven, yep. So TikTok, for more algorithm tips, I've heard this directly from the sources themselves. So something that TikTok does, and I believe other platforms, I just know TikTok for sure does, when you post a video on TikTok, there's like a form of cross-referencing that they do, which is where they're kind of scanning like reels and shorts and yada yada. And they're finding that if you are posting on other platforms at the same time, they're actually suppressing your views. That is a fact. That is something that is actually happening. So typically what I do is TikTok is my main platform, and then I distribute things to like reels and shorts. I will wait 7 days because that's approximately, like, you can kind of tell when a video has met its end cycle and it's like, it's just done. That's typically what I do. So I would make your platform, or like your videos for whichever platform you care about the most, post it, wait 7 days or whatever you think is feasible, and then post it on other platforms just to give your shorts the best life they can.
Hit me with your best shot. Find a way. No, that's it. That's all you get from me right there.
Damn, teaser.
And a couple last questions before you head off. Who would you beat in a 1v1 in Call of Duty? Who in the scene? Who would you beat?
Man, if you asked me like right before LAN, I would have said like anyone. And then I like challenged a couple of the guys from LAN.
Oh, did ya?
In 1v1, and I got my ass kicked.
Really?
I was so humbled.
All right, talk about streamers.
They're not even streamers, but Ben Anderson, who was part of, I'm going to get roasted for this, but I don't know what group he was in. But I was like, yeah, dude, I'd 100% kick your ass. Like, I think he came like 8th or something like that in the comp. And then, no, he absolutely smoked me. I would love to verse, purely for the shit talk, love to verse Joel, that Joel guy from Gravity Gaming. I want to do it because I can shit talk with the rest of them. I got some, if you want to be roasted, I can roast people.
What about Joel Bergs? Beat him?
Oh, I reckon I could beat Joel.
What about
Joel's a good mate of mine.
Drew Dog? I'd shit on Drew Dog. I would shit on Drew Dog.
Yeah, I reckon I could.
What about Overtime?
No, I don't think I'd beat Overtime.
Easy Overtime?
They're Warzone boys, though. That's the thing. I haven't seen
Overtime I might actually have to open my eyes up for when I'm playing. Usually I keep my eyes closed.
Oh, yeah, normally.
That's why I wear the glasses.
Overtime's a different breed, though, man. Have you seen his claw? Like, his claw cam? What he plays with on controller?
Hey, all I see is carpal tunnel right there.
Yeah, early onset carpal tunnel.
Yes, it's coming.
He is a different breed. Yeah, I reckon I'd beat. This is an official call out.
Call it out.
I reckon I'd beat Joel.
Yep.
And I reckon I'd beat Drew.
Yep.
I don't think I would beat Overtime, but I would like to verse him anyway.
Anyone else? What about some chick streamers?
I would love just Maddie X. Her and we're really good friends, by the way. Like, I would love. She's massive on Cold War.
Yep.
I would love to do a 1v1 on both Modern Warfare, because that's my main platform, and Cold War, and see how we go, because she's a killer sniper, man. She is really good. Would love to challenge her on that
Give her
one.
the gunny. Let her know about
absolutely.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Put 20 subs on the line, 10 subs on the line, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
A little bit cheeky. Maybe a dono. Maybe so then they can take the whole money.
Maybe a dono to a tip, maybe? Who knows?
Rather a dono, I think, nowadays.
That's true.
Considering
how those, like, you lose your tweet, like those ones, they're always fun.
Considering how expensive and how bad the cut is from Twitch, I think I'd rather a dono.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like,
not to mention, like, waiting a month, like,
you have to wait. Have to wait forever and stuff for it to come through, and it's just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
But Taylor, I think that we're kind of wrapping this up. I think that's. I'm happy with that. You happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a lot of fun. I had an excellent time.
It was a good episode. Previously, I'd had to wrap up people because I tried to keep in that 35 to 45 minute mark. But I found that a lot of their stories weren't coming out fully. Like, I wanted to get it all out. So I wasn't being like, it was already super personable, but I didn't get the full story and time out of everyone because I had to wrap it up because I thought that going by advice from a professional radio host who gave me a little bit of some tips here and there about things, about viewer retention and stuff. But if you look at the world's most successful podcast, that goes up to 3 hours. I don't have 3 hours and you don't either. But this is my 3 hours, okay? 3 hours looks differently in Australia, okay?
Absolutely, yeah. It's different time zones. You don't get it. You wouldn't get it.
Exactly. But that's pretty much it. One last question though is, where do you keep your butter? In the fridge or the pantry?
In the fridge. If you're a pantry, give me your username so I can block you on all of my platforms. Who the fuck keeps their butter in the pantry?
Better block me, bro.
Jacko, don't do this.
Better block me, bro.
There's still time. You got time to rest.
I give people, everyone asks me, why do you do it? And I say, well, the reason is because if I have a nice piece of, nice sourdough that's fresh out of the oven, right? And it's doughy. If you get that shit out of the fridge and it's spreadable butter and you roll it on there, it'll dough up. It'll clag up. That's my whole thing. So the reason I keep it in the pantry is purely because in my pantry, it's actually quite cool, but it's not to the point where the butter melts. If that makes sense. So it's cool butter in the fridge. Like, it's really well regulated in my cupboard, if that makes sense.
Jacko, you're a fucking maniac.
When I spread it, God damn it.
You're a maniac. No. Can I give you a life hack that will alleviate that so you're not a fucking psychopath? So say you're
in the microwave?
No, because that's gross. So, you know when your toast is in the toaster, shit that you sit there and you wait. This is what I do. And you put your knife over the toaster and you wait for it to heat up. So using the heat from the toaster. I'm not putting it in the toaster.
Taylor,
it's okay. It's not.
We're
okay. I'm okay. This is not a cry for help. You put it over the toaster. You don't touch it because that's unsafe. And you wait for it to heat up. So then when the toast pops out, you sourdough or whatever, put it on the plate. And then, like, because the knife is warm, it, like, spreads really nicely.
I get exactly what you're talking about. However, when you get the butter from with your warm knife, you pick it up and the butter falls off your knife, so it could fall on the plate, the fucking ground.
I've just got decent dexterity. I'm just not an idiot, and
also another tip for you: if you do that, just use hot water, man. Hot water saves holding it. Yeah, it's quicker.
It's probably true.
Yeah, just letting you know, man. One of my friends that I had on the podcast, he said that his friend's mum used to get the butter out half an hour before his son woke up, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how's the service at this place?
Yeah, I was going to say.
See, I don't have time to hold. Look, I haven't had bread for a while. I did have it this morning, actually, come to think of it. But I don't eat bread. I've stopped eating bread and all those type of carbs. I generally eat carbs here and there on the weekends, but because I'm just doing, like, meat-only diet. But, yeah, that's my argument for keeping it in the pantry.
Yeah.
And it's also not, like, the weather's not as crazy as it is in Sydney. Like, Sydney's always, like, it's humid. So you can't drive your car with the window down and it's cool, refreshing air at times. That's my whole argument behind it. So
that's fair.
That's my point. I do keep my sauce in the fridge, though.
Jacko.
There's something going on. There's something wrong with me.
I need time to process this. I need time to grieve in the morning to block you on all my platforms.
There's something going on with me, Taylor. I don't know what it is. But one thing I do know is that this was a great episode.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Is there anything you want to shout out before we head off?
Jacko's a legend, and Follow him on all the platforms.
Oh, gas. Okay, I don't need to wrap it up there. But ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Morgan, you'll be able to see all of her links and stuff in the description below. And thank you so much for your time this evening, this fresh Sunday evening. If you guys are listening and got to this point of the podcast, make sure to go check her out, as well as myself on all our socials. They'll be linked below. This podcast was brought to you by absolutely nobody, letting you guys know. So if you guys want to sponsor the podcast, we can talk about it and move on from there. It's also available on the audio version on Spotify, Apple, and everywhere else. And if, once again, reminder, if you want to come back to the YouTube, check us out, come to YouTube, youtube.com/JacoGFreak. We'll see you guys on the next one. Remember to be safe, stay well, and as always, boom baby. Peace.